Shramabhari alankritasye Mama nisita sarer vibidhyamana Tvachi vilasat stu Krishna Atma Yuddhi turagarajo vidhumra visva Kachalulita shramabhari alankritasye Mama nisita sarer vibidhyamana Tvachi vilasat stu Krishna Atma Yuddhi turagarajo vidhumra visva Kachalulita shramabhari alankritasye Mama nisita sarer vibidhyamana Tvachi vilasat astu Krishna Atma Kachalulita samabhari Tvachi vilasat astu Krishna Atma Yudhituragarajo vidhumra visva Kachalulita shramabhari alankritasye Mama nishita sarer vibidhyamana Tvachi vilasat astu Krishna Atma Yudhituragarajo vidhumra visva Kachalulita shramabhari alankritasye Mama nisita sarer vibidhyamana Tvachi vilasat stu Krishna Atma. Synonym Yuddhi on the battlefield. Turaga, horses. Rajaha, dust. Vidhumra, turned an ashen color. Biswag, waving. Kacha, hair. Lulita, scattered. Shramabhari, perspiration. Alankrita, decorated with. Asye, unto the face. Mama, my. Nisita, sharp. Saraihi, by the arrows. Bibidhyamana, pierced by. Tvachi, in the skin. Bilasat, enjoying pleasure. Kavache, protecting armor. Astu, let there be. Krishna, unto Shri Krishna. Atma, mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. On the battlefield where Shri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna. Translation with repetition. On the battlefield, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, in, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the five principal relations, namely Santa, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, that is neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, parental affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Sri Bhismadev is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of servitorship. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. It appears that Bhismadev is repenting the actions he committed against the person of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So also it is stated in the Skanda Purana. It is said there that spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed, nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appeared before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls materially encased, just to bewilder the asuras or the non-believers, who are always alert to kill the Lord even from the very beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna and Ravana wanted to kill Rama. Because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. Therefore, Bhismadev's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheist. But those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhismadev appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone. Although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhismadev, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhisma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhisma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, a great acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhismadev are as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the Lord's body, directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting is an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee, Sri Bhismadev, was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man, but one who has a little absolute knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhismadev. The word bibidhyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is non-different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul, in our case, the word bibidhyamana, or being bruised and cut, would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of transcendental bliss. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane, it is full of inebrities. Whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee Bhismadev, and because Bhismadev is a devotee in the chivalrous relation, he fixes of his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Thus ends the wonderful transcendental Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are in this wonderful section of Bhishma Dev's heartful prayer that he is offering in Srimad Bhagavatam. And so beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. And if you read, probably if we speak for days together, still we will not be able to finish the explanation which Prabhupada has given so beautifully, actually, so wonderful. We will try to see some of these points which Prabhupada is making in this wonderful verse. I'm looking for one verse. Okay. So the verse is, Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra visvak kachalulita shramabari alankritasye mama nisita sarair bibidhyamana tvachi vilasat kavache astu krishna atma. Usually, if a person has to go to a place where there could be some attention on him or her, how will he go? How will he or she go? Kaise jaoge, Siddharth? You'll at least be well dressed. You'll ensure that your hairstyle, everything, the hair wears up, theek hai, baal. If Mataji is, then maybe a little more, whatever makeup and all you do. And you go so that you look proper. But in case of the Lord, things are very different. It's so wonderful, actually, Bhagavatam. Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra visvak. Yuddhi. Yuddhi, in the midst of the battlefield. Turaga. Turaga is horses. Anybody have you sat on horse? You have? No? You have? Where? The horse was going on what? Was it going on the road or was it going on the road? Mud, okay. So, beach or mud? Mud. If you compare, actually the horse cannot go fast on the road. The road is, the surface, if it is hard, it's very difficult for the horse to go. The hoops it will not be able to accelerate over there. But when it goes on the muddy, it goes very fast. Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra biswak. Yuddhi turaga. Turaga is horse. Raja is dust. So the battlefield, imagine a battlefield. We see in movies or something. Really, we have never seen some elephants or soldiers and horses, loud war cry, and the horses are running, tak, 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 tak. And then there are this dust which is coming out of. Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra viswak. Vidhumra is translated, Prabhupada, as turned an ashen color. What is ashen color? Gray. Okay, it's the word that is used there is dhumra. Dhumra is smoke. So vidhumra is Prabhupada's translation is ashen, so smoky. So the face of Krishna, because he's the charioteer, he's sitting in the front, because of this dust which is being raised. Sometimes there could be a whirlwind or something, huge dust is falling on his face. And the face has become vidhumra, ashen color, or like smoky color. Biswak is waving. What is waving? Waving is kacha. Kacha is his hair. So, whatever, sometimes we go or work or do something, not really careful, and then we come back, and then the hair is all dissolved, or not in the proper place. Krishna, because it's a chariot being driven by him, and he's driving it with all intensity, full figure, force. It's a battle. So he has to maneuver this, chariot, and because of that, there is this wind which is blowing, has made his hair flow, biswak, waving, or it is scattered, dissolved. Kacha lulita shramabari alankritasya. Shramabari alankritasya. Because of the hard labor of, this tending the horses. The horse riding is not an easy thing, and he's doing that. And he's fully focused on that. There is shramabari, there is the sweat which is falling, perspiring. Shramabari, how they are falling, how they are coming. So one drop of sweat has come on the face of the Lord, and the other drop is waiting for this drop to fall so that it can come and take that position. Shramabari alankritasya. This is the difference. Alankritasya. And the Lord is looking beautiful. He does not need your makeup and whatever other things that you have. No, not required. Dissolved hair and those drops of sweat which is coming on his face is making him look beautiful. Alankritasya. Mama nisita sarer bibidhyamana. Mama nishita sarer. And Bhishma Dev is telling, Mama nisita sarer. My arrows, the arrows that I have shot, they are not some ordinary arrows. They were very sharp arrows. Nishita sarer. Mama nishita sarer bibidhyamana. It has pierced. What it has pierced? Tvachi. Tvachi is skin. Tvacha, we say. Tvacha is skin. Tvachi. Tvachi bilasat kavache astu Krishna atma. Bilasat kavache. Even the armor, that kavacha that the Lord is wearing, that is also pierced. And astu Krishna atma. Atma is my mind. Let my mind be absorbed. Let my mind be absorbed on what? Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra viswa. Krishna is standing in front of him, royally dressed. Baraha Pidam, he is having that peacock feather, surrounded by all the Pandavas. Yudhishthir Maharaj in his emperor dress with the throne, with the crown, and they are all standing there. But look at Bhishma Dev's mind. So it's wonderful where he is going and what is his absorption. His absorption is only on that form of the Lord, which he had seen when, actually in one of the places he mentions that Arjuna is not very fortunate because he's not able to see Krishna face to face. Rather, Arjuna is giving direction to Krishna, Krishna who has taken the subservient position of a charioteer by touching his feet. So the position of charioteer will be little low, and the warrior or the person who is in the chariot who's giving direction, he will be at a higher position. So usually the leg of the warrior will come somewhere here, like just above the waist, and Arjuna has to kick with shoes that they wear, those kshatriyas, which has got nails. He has to kick if the chariot has to go in the right direction. If the chariot has to go in the left direction, then he has to kick on the left side. If the chariot has to stop, he'll hit it in the, or maybe, I don't know what he'll do. He'll hit it, or he'll probably tap or something, or if it has to go straight, he has to hit in the middle. It's a very painful thing. But Bhishma Dev, he's saying that I'm fortunate because I'm seeing Krishna's face. Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra viswak. Kacha lulita shrama vari alankritasya. If somebody comes like that to somebody comes to you, sits next to you, sweaty, पूरा गंदा बाल वाल इधर पड़ा हुआ है, धूल वूल लगा हुआ है, you'll थोड़ा side हो जाओगे, भाई बैठ तू आराम से बैठ. And we don't want to be there next to him. But here you see the Lord being supreme, transcendental. He's not like us. He's beautiful even in that form. Yuddhi turaga rajo vidhumra viswak kachalulita shramabari alankritasya. Mama nisita sarer vividhyamana tvachi vilasat kavache astu Krishna atma. On the battlefield, Yuddhi, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna, biswak kacha, turned ashen, vidhumra, due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, Yudhi turaga rajo. And because of his labor, Shramavari, beads of sweat wetted his face. Shramabari alankritasya. So it decorated his face. And because of all these decorations intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, mama nishita sarer bibidhyamana, were enjoyed by him. This is the interesting part. The Lord was enjoying this. Intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna. Tvachi bilasat kavache astu Krishna atma. If you see the purport, there are many powerful points, many points which are given. But one of the very salient points which Prabhupada is trying to highlight is that the Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss and knowledge. In Brahma Samhita we chant the prayer which says, Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So, as such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the 5 principal relations, namely Santa, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya, is neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, parental affection and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Again, if you read further, the Lord's body was not at all pain due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So also it is stated in the Skanda Purana. This position, this transcendental position of the Lord, this transcendental appearance, this transcendental form of the Lord is not known to people. They cannot figure it out. And the whole purport, this one point is weaved in various places. Prabhupada is talking about that. The Lord is different. The Lord's position is different. The Lord's experience of pleasure is also absolute. That is why piercing arrow is also same as that of throwing a flower onto him. This theme is very nicely given in various parts of Bhagavad Gita, which we should, if you pay attention, you will get to know. Very nice place. In various places it is there. In 9th chapter, Krishna says, Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Avajananti mam mudha. Avajananti, jananti is to know. Avajananti, they don't know. Avajananti, who? Mudha. Mudhas. Avajananti mam mudha. They are foolish. Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanum ashritam. Manusim tanum ashritam. Ashritam is to take shelter. So when I take manusim tanum, when I accept a material body, body of a human being, avajananti mam, the mudhas, they don't understand me. Param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Param bhavam, my transcendental nature, they don't understand. Ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram, that I am the controller of all living entities. That these people don't know. Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Morning we are reading this chapter 7 Bhagavad Gita. Very interesting. Very nicely Krishna says in multiple verses how people don't know him. How the whole world is bewildered. They don't know him. Why they don't know him and how or who can know him. Very nicely it is given. If you see in the 7th chapter, Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. To know Krishna in tattvataha is not easy. It's very rare. I don't want to have an approximate understanding of Krishna. I don't want to have a partial understanding of Krishna. Somewhat, okay, Krishna, maybe like this. No. Tattvataha. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvata. Vetti tattva, vetta tattvataha. to know Krishna completely, in truth, in totality, in absoluteness, it's not easy. It's a very rare thing. Then further Krishna says, if you go a little further, he says, Tribhir gunamair bhaver, evi sarvam idam jagat, mohitam na vijanati, mam ebhya paramabhyayam. Again, the word uses Tribhir gunamair bhaver, evi sarvam idam jagat, mohitam na janati, abhijanati. They don't know me. Why? Because they are bewildered. This entire world, Tribhir gunamair bhaver, evi sarvam idam jagat. Ebhi sarvam, the entire world, ebhi sarvam, iha sarvam, ebhi sarvam jagat, this entire universe is bewildered by Trivir Gunamayar. And mohitam, they don't know me, na vijananti. Mam ebhya paramabhyayam, that I am inexhaustible, I am beyond this, my body is transcendental. They don't know this. If you go further, Krishna says in the 24th chapter in the middle, why people don't know him. Very interesting. Avyaktam vyaktim apanna manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta mama vyayam anuttamam. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam. Avyaktam means unmanifest. Vyaktim, this personality, has come from some unmanifest. As if there is a truth beyond Krishna, and that is manifesting as Krishna. Abhyaktam vyaktim apannam. Apannam means accepted. He is accepted. He is achieved. So some unmanifested thing has taken the form of Krishna, achieved, has attained, has got this form of Krishna. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante. Who thinks like this? Abuddhaya. Abuddhaya is who are, again the word used is less intelligent, whose buddhis are gone. Abuddhaya. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya. They consider that the unmanifest has taken a form like a vyaktim apannaha param bhavam ajananto. They don't understand my higher nature. Mama abhyayam anuttamam. I am the topmost, I am the purest, I am the finest, I am imperishable. This thing they don't understand. This is gross. You see, even there are so many philosophers, so many people who talk about Krishna, even in India or in the whole world, they talk about him. But they don't know, they speculate. Avyaktam, some unmanifest has become vyaktim. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananto mama abhyayam anuttamam. Then in the next verse, very next verse, Krishna says, Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samabrataha mudho yam na vijanati loko ma majham abhyayam. The word again used is mudho, na vijanati. So why they don't know? Naham prakasa sarvasya. I am not revealed to everyone. Not that anybody comes and I'll tell you who I am. No, I'm not revealing myself. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samabrata. There is a curtain of internal potency of the Lord, yoga maya. And there is a curtain of external energy in front of us. So Naham Prakasa and the Lord is not revealed. Naham Prakasa Sarvasya Yogamaya Samabrata. Mudhoyam navijananti lokomam ajam abhyayam. They don't understand me. They cannot know that I'm ajam and abhyayam, inexhaustible. Then again, in the next verse, you see this is very important to first understand the position of Krishna, his body, who he is. And see, by the way, this conversation is happening between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna is thinking that Krishna is my cousin, or I have asked him to become a charioteer, and Krishna has also accepted this position, and he's guiding me, but he's telling abhyaktam vyaktim apannam. Some foolish people think that some unmanifest has become Krishna. So these truths are being revealed by Krishna. Of course, Vyasadeva has put this in writing. I mean, Krishna has told this not for Arjuna, for our understanding. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam. What is that? Manyante mam abuddhaya. Abuddhaya. Buddhaya is intelligent. Abuddhaya is no intelligence, but Prabhupada's translation is less intelligent. They think like this. And then again, next verse. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna. Bhavishyani cha bhutani. Mam tu vedana kasyana. Vedaham. What has happened in the near past? I know about that. Vedaham. I know that. Samatitani Vartamanani. What is happening in the present? That also I know. Charjuna, and so I know about him in the future. Bhavishyani. Cha Bhutani. Also, there is a very beautiful word Krishna uses, that I know about every one of you. There is an expression in the Bhagavatam which is very interesting to know, that it is called Akhila Bhutani Antar Atma Drik. Akhila Bhutani Antar Atma Drik. I am a tiny devotee. How will Krishna know me? No. Krishna is there in the heart of everybody. Akhila Bhutani Antaratma Drik. And he knows exactly what is going on in your heart. Krishna is unlimited. He can reciprocate also unlimitedly, depending upon the desires that we are having. So he is telling, I know everybody. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani. I know everybody. Mam tu vedana kaschana. But nobody knows me. Vedaham samatitani. The past, present, future I know. I know about everybody who's there. Because I am there. Akhila bhutani antar atma dhrik. That is the word which is used for Krishna. Akhila bhutani antar atma dhrik. So he's there in the heart. He knows everything. Hey, what's going on? He's unlimited, that Lord. Mam tu vedana kaschana. But nobody knows him. And then in the next two verses, Krishna says how somebody can know him, and who can know him. Why somebody doesn't know? How Krishna repeats this in so many places that, knowing him is so difficult. Mam tu abhijanati, na abhijanati, avajanati. So we don't know. And then he says how it can be known. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargeyanti parantapa. Ichha dvesha samuthena. Because of this desire to enjoy, become independent of him, and dvesha, because of our enviousness towards him, we have accepted this body here. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata. There is a duality and there is an illusion. Illusion about who we are, illusion about who the Supreme Lord is. The illusion is created by Tribhir Gunamair Bhavir. Mohitam, complete illusion. And we don't know, and we consider also the Lord like us, like a human being, or like a stone appearing in the form of a deity, whatever it is. So, Ichha Dvesha Samuthena Dvanda Mohena Bharata Sarva Bhutani Sammoham Sargayanti Parantapa. They are accepting these bodies. We are forced to accept bodies. We don't have a choice. By the stringent laws of material nature, we are forced to accept our bodies. Whereas Krishna, when he comes, he decides what kind of a body he'll have, when he'll take, and he is beyond the modes of material nature. Avyayam, ajopi san abhyayatma, bhutanam iswarapi san, prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. He descends by his own internal potency. He decides, very unlike Sargayanti Parantapa, whereas we are forced to take birth and we are stuck by this dvanda and moha duality. This is good, this is not, this is like, I like this, I dislike this, and moha and illusion. And then in the next verse he says how somebody can come out of it. Yesham to andagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhabrata. Yesham to andagatam papam. When we bring our sinful activities to complete stop. Even though we may be devotees externally, internally the sinful desires are still there. Lot of sinful desires. Yesham tva antagatam papam. That has to be brought complete stop. Then jananam punya karmanam. Then engage in virtuous activities. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. That somebody becomes free from these dualities and illusion. Ye mera hai, this is me and this is mine. That is the illusion. Aham mameti. Te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhabrata. That somebody engages in devotional service. So, and even further, if you see in 10th chapter, there is one verse which Arjuna speaks. That verse is Sarvam eta dhritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava. What is that? Anybody can complete? and 14, very good. Nahi Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Danavaha. So Bhagavan Vyaktim, the personality of Godhead, again the word is used as Bhaktim. Sarvam etam dritam manye yanmam vadasi Keshava. I accept whatever you have told Krishna as 100% truth. But nahi te Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Danavaha. So even the Deva and Danavas, they don't know that, nahi Bhagavan Vyaktim, that you are this supreme personality of Godhead. They cannot accept it. It's very difficult to understand. So, and if you have to see, this is one of the very crucial points, because when somebody is saying that Krishna's body, there is blood oozing out, or his hair is dissolved, or his face has become ashen, we are thinking like a mundane person who is there in the battlefield, and probably his kavacha is pierced, bibidhyamana, and then there's blood which is coming out. How do we understand this? Very interestingly, in this Ishopanishad, there is a word which comes. It says, Asnabiram Suddham Apapabiddham. The body of Krishna is Asnabiram, Suddham, Apapabiddham. Papa cannot even touch. He is beyond the contamination of the modes of material nature. Suddham, completely pure. Asnabira means there is no veins. If there is no veins, how there is blood then coming out of the body? And what Vismadev is meditating? So this is something very interesting. This is really interesting, because Krishna, in his heart, there is only unlimited love for his devotees. And he wants to reciprocate based on the devotee's desire. Bhismadev is experiencing the Shival Rasa or the Veera Rasa. So to give pleasure to Bhismadev, there is some bloodshed, there is some this thing which is appearing, and the Lord, who had promised that he would not take weapon, just to give pleasure, and just to be there on the side of Arjuna. That is what in the purport he is mentioning. Bhismadev appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord, because he did not leave Arjuna alone, although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhismadev. Nor was he reluctant to come before Bhisma's deathbed. It's not like, okay, Bhismadev fought against me. He was always there serving the side of Kauravas. Why should I appear before him? No, he's a pure devotee. He reciprocates based on what is going on inside us. It's a very important thing. The whole world may know us as somebody from our external appearance and features, but the Lord knows us from our internal intentions and desires. You cannot cheat that. There is no cheating possible there. If you are hankering for engaging in a heart-to-heart service to the Lord, not from mind, not from body, heart to heart, the Lord knows it. And he appeared, doesn't matter in which side you are. He was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhismadev, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhisma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhisma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Okay? Bhisma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both. This is very hope-giving. Lord's merciful attitude. Not that Bhismadev shot arrows with me, he fought, he has pierced my kavacha, he has made my body wounded, I'll not go. He's coming. Another very important thing which Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport is this use of the word Atma here. Tvachi bilasat kavache astu Krishna Atma. What is the meaning of the word Atma here? Mind. We would never know a meaning of a particular word just by our knowledge of Sanskrit. Atma can mean soul, Atma can mean also super soul, Atma can mean body, Atma can also mean mind. So here Prabhupada is saying, Tvachi bilasat kavache astu Krishna Atma. Now you see, this is another aspect which Krishna repeatedly emphasizes in Bhagavad Gita. Repeatedly. Where else? Where all he emphasizes this? If you see the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in that there is a verse, because it's Krishna says, who is dear to him? Who can know him? Who can come back to him? What are the qualifications? And we have to take this very seriously. Because it is, if our activities, if our actions, intentions are not in line with what Krishna desires, that means we are not yet ready. Even though we are trying, we are doing something, but it has to be completely in line with what Krishna is asking. So very beautiful verse in 12th chapter, Krishna says, he gives the qualification, how somebody can, Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyeva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasa. So powerful verse. It's so wonderful actually. Before we understand the meaning and the depth of it, I want to ask you one thing. When a person dies, when a person is no more, what do you think happens to him after that? Or what do you think can happen to him? Ajimala, what will happen to a person when he dies? Okay, that is right. Anything else? Huh? Prabhupada says in one of the purports of Bhagavatam, you can look for it, very interesting. When a person dies, only one of the two things can happen. Ajimala is interested, right? So like Ajimala, who met those Yamadutas, either we will meet the Yamadutas or we will meet Vishnu or Vishnudutas. There is no third possibility. Okay. And imagine if the Yamadutas have come. Very friendly, gentle, nice. Right? They are Bhima. There is a verse which comes in Bhagavatam. It says, Yamadutau tada praptau Bhimo sarva ikshanau sa rabhasa ikshanau. So Yamadutau tada praptau Bhimo. Bhimo means they are terrible. Have you seen some terrible people? Like, they've come. Bhimo, sarava ikshano. And how their eyes are? Eyes are filled with wrath. I want to take you, whatever, bloody fellow, you sinful guy, I'll not leave you now. They've come. And sadrashtva trashta hridaya. So when you see him, what do you feel? Oh, so happy, my God. As Yamadutas have come to my place. No. Sadrashtva trashta hridaya. Trashta means you're frightened. You're scared. Like Ajimala. Right? It's fully scared. Heart is full of fear. Sadrashtva trashta hridaya. And sakran mutram vimunjati. Sakran mutram. You will pass stool and urine out of fear. Yamadutau tada praptau Bhimo suravaikshano sadrashtva trashta hridaya sakran mutram vimunjati. Stool, urine, sab chala jayega, niklega. Fears. The pain when the soul leaves the body is unbearable. Whereas there is another thing which is possible where you meet Vishnu or the Vishnudutas. They are the same and it is possible. The word that is used there is Yamadito tada prapto. Yamadutau tada prapto. Prapto means they will arrive. You obtain Yamadutas. In Bhagavad Gita, in 9.3, when Krishna says Asradadhana Purusha, what is it fully? Aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Right? Aprapya. Either we can get prapta, we can get Krishna, or we can get Yamaduta prapto. And the choice is with us. What is that? How do we exercise that choice? 9.3, where is it? Ashradadhana Purusha dharmasyasya asya dharma asyasya parantapa. Ashradadhana, Purusha. If you don't have faith in these words of Krishna, Dharmasyasya Parantapa, Parantapa, O killer of the enemies, Dharmasyasya is translated by Prabhupada as of the process of religion. Aprapya, you will not receive me. Aprapya. So you will not get me. Then what you will get? Mrityu samsara vartmani. You will again enter into this Mrityu samsara. Having this context in mind, when Bhishma Dev is meditating upon this beautiful form, why is he doing that? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Yetu sarvani karmani mat sanyasya. Yesterday we were discussing the chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita, which says, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Renunciation is a given, is a must. If you don't do it voluntarily, at the time of death, Krishna comes and says, Mrityu sarvaharascha. You don't want to renounce? You don't want to give it up? No problem. I'll take away everything. Phush! Mrityu. Mrityu sarvaharascha. The translation of the 18th chapter title, which Prabhupada has given conclusion, the perfection of renunciation, the original title of Vyasadeva is Moksha Yoga. So, Moksha Yoga is the ultimate perfection. You want to come out of the cycle of birth and death, right? And here Krishna is telling what you should do. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. The words used are very, very important. Mai sanyasya. Mai sanyasya means you give up all activities in me. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Sanyasya is to renounce. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Actually, Prabhupada is so genius and so compassionate that he has created this institution called ISKCON, where he can give up all your activities. You want to do management, you can do management. You want to do some devotional service, you want to sing, you can do. You want to do construction, you can do construction. You want to do some, whatever you think of, it can be total. Mai tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. It is not like you can do something for the society, something for family, something for yourself, and something you can give up for Krishna. No, sarvani karmani. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. That is why we ask people to join temple, right? We induce people, because some people also induced us to join. There may be a little disturbance here and there, but it is necessary because Krishna is telling, Yetu sarvani karvani mai sanyasya. Is there a place, is there an opportunity that I can dovetail all my activities to Krishna? Yes, you can. If you join, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara. Second word that is used by Krishna is matpara. Matpara is a very important thing. Matpara means you think of me. Your mind should be absorbed in me. Matpara. I was doing some YouTube research, some search, and I found that, what is the largest content or variety of videos which is available in the YouTube for which particular topic? Just a guess. Pornography, okay. Food? Music? It's actually pets. Pet para. Somebody who's pet para, who's always thinking of his pet, is absorbed about that. But natural at the time of death, pet will come into his mind, his consciousness. Matpara. One has to learn to become matpara. Matpara means fully absorbed. There is a verse in Bhagavatam which Chanchalpati Prabhu often says that it was bewildering to him. Vasudeva Paragati, Vasudeva Paramata, that verse, Vasudeva, no, Bhagavati, only Vasudeva Paratapa, Vasudeva Parandhava. So Prabhupada in that Vasudeva Paragyanam, Prabhupada's translation is the ultimate knowledge of everything is to know Vasudeva. The ultimate dharma is to know Vasudeva. The ultimate tapasya is to do tapasya for Vasudeva. So it was truly confusing because that's not the exact meaning. But then Prabhu explains, actually Vasudeva Para is one word. Become Vasudeva Para, Mat Para. Vasudeva Para Gati. The dharma is meant for Vasudeva Para. The jnana is meant for becoming Vasudeva Para. The tapasya is meant to become Vasudeva Para. Vasudeva Para is one word. Like they say, politicians should become Jana Para. They should be thinking about the about that common mass of people, Janapara. They should think about their well-being. One has to become Matpara. Matpara. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara ananyaiva yogena. You cannot do multiple things. You cannot do this, that, this, everything, all these things also going on. And then you can say that, no, ananyaiva yogena mam dhyayante upasate. You have to remember the Lord. You have to meditate on Him. You have to have that in your mind. Ananyaiva yogena mam dhyayante upasate. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. Single pointed attention. This word matpara, or even in 7th chapter which we are reading, the first verse, Krishna says, Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan madasraya. Maya sakta, my mind has to be attached. Matpara. Then what will happen? Tesham aham samuddharta. Uddharana is to uplift. Uddhar, you are in a lower level. Uddhar is to, somebody will uplift. Samuddharta. I'll deliver him. I will uplift him. From where? Mrityu samsara sagarat. So this, where did we see the sagara? Mrityu samsara sagarat. This cycle of, this ocean of birth and death, this ocean of cycle that we are stuck, Krishna will uplift us. Mrityu samsara sagarat. Then Bhavams nachirat partha. Bhavams nachirat partha. How long is he going to take? Nachirat. There is a word, in the Telugu film industry, there is one actor by name Chiranjeevi. Right? Chira is for long time. Jivi means you live for a long time. Chiranjeevi. But nachirat partha. Bhavami nachirat. Immediately, without further delay. Bhavami nachirat partha, and the last qualification, Maya besita chetasam. Your chetasa, your consciousness, your mind has to be imbued, soaked, absorbed in me. Maya besita chetasam. This is the qualification. This is the demand Krishna is telling. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. All your activities you have to give up in me. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Ananyaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya vesita chetasa. So that is why Bhismadev, even though he is lying on the bed of arrows, pierced, his absorption is very clear. Even though Krishna is physically present in front of him, but he is remembering that face of the Lord when he was coming in the chariot, valiantly fighting. The hairs are dissolved, scattered, and there is this decoration of the sweat on his face, and pierced by his sharp arrows there is blood, and he's saying, my mind, let it be absorbed in that. This is a Mahajan teaching us by his example. It's to be actually the absorption, and Prabhupada has created so wonderful opportunity, beautiful deities. Nice, you can chant the names of the Lord. You can read Bhagavatam, you can read Bhagavad Gita. You can develop that kind of an attitude where at the end of the life, Yamaduta Praptam will not happen, but Vishnuduta Praptam or Vishnu Praptam is possible. These are some of the things that is mentioned in this verse. Any question, any comment? Yes. No, Bhismadev is a devotee throughout. It's not like only the end he could manage to absorb his consciousness or something. But the Lord, being unlimited, exchanges different rasas with his different living entities in unlimited way. Somebody can have conjugal love, somebody can have parental love. Bhismadev is very unique that he is having this chivalrous rasa, veera rasa, very difficult to understand. But the Lord gets pleasure in that. And he wants to give this pleasure to Bhismadev because he also relishes that rasa. So for them, you talk about, of course, he will mention in the later verses the worship of Gopi, though the gopis are not present. But he says, I'm happy with this rasa. And to satisfy his desire, the Lord, who is only thinking about love for his devotees, manifests those kind of features or things so that Bhismadev gets pleasure. And his mind got absorbed in that. Like Hanuman, he is happy serving the Lord in that Dasya Bhav. He doesn't go beyond that. He is happy. Lord Ram and me, and that's all. So like that, Bhismadev has this unique thing of Veera Rasa. And that is what the Lord fulfills his desires. Wonderful purport, actually. You should see, you should read. Even though this is all very difficult and not something we can, who will say that, oh Krishna, I'll chastise you, I'll throw arrows at you, I'll do that. We are not even a servant, not even proper servant. Forget about all these things. But we can relish. We can relish this by reading the purport of Srila Prabhupada, understanding this. No, this is all. Ocha, that fight that you were saying. Then no, there was a. No, there was once, I think this Duryodhan every day in the night used to instigate Bhismadev that you're not fighting properly because you have affection for Arjuna and you have affection for the Pandavas in general, you're not valiantly fighting. So Bhismadev took a vow that either I'll kill the Pandavas tomorrow, that's the 8th day of Mahabharat war, or Krishna has to lift his weapon. So kill the Pandavas is impossible because Krishna is there with them. So Krishna broke his own promise to be there with the side of Arjuna. This is what he mentions, that Krishna is so compassionate. He doesn't mind breaking his own words, but he ensures that his devotees are not put into any trouble. So the verse which talks about Bhismadev lifting that wheel of the chariot in one place in Bhagavatam which comes, Saveda Dhatu Padabim Parasya Duranta Viryasya Rathanga Pane Yo Mayaya Santatayanu Bhajeta Tatpada Saroja Gandham. Saveda Dhatu Padabim Parasya Duranta Viryasya Rathanga Pane. Rathanga Pane, Ratha Anga Pani. Rathanga is that wheel that he was carrying in his hand. That form of the Lord is something which Bhismadev is meditating. Maybe the crown, the mukutta is not there, the hairs are dissolved, sweat, blood, and he's rushing Krishna to. Then Bhismadev is just surrendered. Okay, my Lord, I wanted to see this form of yours. You have carried the weapon for me. I am satisfied. That form he is meditating on. He uses some of the very interesting words, Vijay Sakhe, Partha Sakhe, why and all. You see, his Prabhupada is explaining all this. Very, very wonderful, very nice actually, very relishable, very tasty. Okay, we'll continue to see the next verse is again very beautiful prayer, very, very nice. Prayers of Bhagavatam, if you pay attention, mind automatically will become purified, automatically. Yesterday, I was sharing that the biggest assurance that the Lord has given us is the biggest gift. Shrunvata swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha hridayantastho hi avadrani vidhunoti surutsata. Shrunvata swakatha Krishna. If we hear Krishna's glories, Krishna's activities, Krishna's pastimes, Shrunvata swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Lot of virtuous things are happening, lot of pious things. Punya shravana kirtana. What happens? Hridayantastho hi avadrani. All the impurities that are there in the heart are cleansed by the Lord Himself. This is the difference. for all other people, for the 99.99% of the people in this material world who are not Krishna conscious, who do not know the supremacy of the Lord, who do not engage in devotional service, they suffer or they enjoy based on the laws of karma. Either they are enjoying something based on the pious credit that they have, they get some things fulfilled, or they are imposed on some things because of their past misdeeds that they have done. They're not exempt from that. But only for the devotees, the Lord personally cleanses his heart, makes free of all contaminations. Hridayantastohi avadrani vidhunoti. Dhunoti is to cleanse, vidhunoti, completely cleanse it. If you are Shranvata Svakatha Krishna, if you are hearing attentively and just hearing Krishna's pastimes and all, and which is given in the form of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That is the process. We'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.